tutorial is one that I personally really enjoy simply because I'm using a lot of warm tones. You guys know that's my thing. And because it gives me an opportunity to try the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Got almost tongue twisted there. I picked this up several days ago, and I'm just now getting into using some of the sort of warmer shades. I've only used the very light colors just to do a light dusting on my eyelids and then just some mascara. Honestly, for the last couple days, I've been skipping eye makeup altogether because it's just too darn hot. It was almost 100 degrees, 96-ish here in Tennessee a few days ago, and it's like you walk outside and it's instant sweating. So I don't even bother to wear makeup. And so I'm going to be doing kind of heavy on the eye, but then the skin is actually very, very easy. It's just a little bit of concealer where I need it, and of course bronzer, blush, and highlight. No foundation, no face powders, nothing like that. Just keeping everything really light, so you'll still be able to see my skin through it, and I'm not trying to cover up any imperfections. This is just what my skin looks like, and I feel like because my skin is in a good place, I can skip certain products, and it just makes my routine and getting ready so much quicker and easier for me. And if you want to know about my skincare, I do have a video about the Sanita's Skincare Combination Skin System kit that I posted on Friday. I will link it above my head and also in the bottom bar if you're interested in seeing that. Part 2 will be coming this coming Friday for a dry skin kit. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see that video. And of course, more tutorials in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now, there will be a little bit of an epic fail using this new little gadget here, the Liner Designer by Beautyblender. I don't think that my first attempt should have been on camera because I had my lens zoomed as far as I can and I was trying to get it. I mean, my wing is pretty like out here today. I normally don't do my wing that intense, but you know what? We're just gonna go with it. And I will be doing more looks using this little thing and getting more up close shots, but that is something to get used to, holding a little something and then using your other hand to do the liner. It is a little tricky. But we're going to get it, and I'm telling you, together, we're going to get our wings sharp to cut, people. You know how it goes. That's how I like my liners, super sharp. So, without further ado, if you want to see this entire look from start to finish, keep watching. So I've already primed my lids with the CC Color Clay Primer from Tarte. I put that all over my lids and also set it with some translucent powder. Now for eyeshadows, I'm taking the Tempura shade from the Modern Renaissance palette with a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. And I'm applying this all over my lids, all the way up to my brow bone. And this color is so pigmented. It is so pretty. And then I'm taking Vermeer, which is a shimmery, kind of pinky champagne color. And that is going to be my brow highlight. Now, I am using the small end of the double-ended brush that came with this palette. It's actually a pretty functional brush. Moving on to crease work, we're going into Golden Ochre with a Morphe M441 brush, and I'm applying this sort of like a transition shade. It's very light. I guess compared to my skin tone, it doesn't really show up, so that's why I mix it. Sort of a perfect transition shade, which is going to help with blending later on. So I'm just sort of blending this back and forth. Love this Morphe M441 brush because it makes applying eyeshadow so easy in the crease. Next, I'm taking Raw Sienna with a Sigma E25 blending brush, and as you can see, I'm taking the brush sort of parallel with my eye and wiggling it back and forth. And once I have that color placed, I'm then going to switch the brush sideways. So turn it sideways, as you can see here, and sort of work that in sort of windshield wiper motions, I guess, so that you can sort of apply and blend at the same time. I love this brush. This is one of my favorites from Sigma, and I'm just sort of following the natural shape of my eye with the shadow, so just keeping it very rounded. Then next, taking Burnt Orange, which is a very warm, kind of orangey tan color, again with the same brush, using the same motions, sort of swiping from side to side, left to right, and then turning the brush and then sort of following that shape of my eye. So really simple, really easy. What I'm doing is I'm just working that color, just taking my time, and the whole thing is you want to take your time with blending and make sure that everything is soft, that the color's there, but the edges are blurred so that it's not very harsh. And so it just sort of blends from one color to the next. So that's why I did take some time. And I try to sort of edit this down just a little bit because you guys don't need to see me spending 5 minutes doing the same thing. So just sort of work that color in. Then I'm taking this beautiful orange color called Regar. That's how you pronounce it. I don't know. With a very small crease brush. This one is from Sigma. It's the really old one. I've had this brush for like 6-7 years now. Don't know what the new numbering is. So anything very small that can sort of give you more precise application with the shadow. And I'm going to be using this color primarily on the outer V of the eye and swirling my brush in circular motions to get the color applied and blended very well. I did go and add quite a bit of the orange because I love warm tone shadows. If you don't like such intense orangey colors, you can definitely tone it down. Or if you would like, you can even take the brown color, if you have this palette, the Cypress Umber. That's how you pronounce that? Umber? I think so. You could take that dark brown instead if you wanted to. So there's some options for you. Then I'm going to mix Vermeer with Primavera. One is like a shimmery pinky champagne. One is a little bit more golden. I'm applying that pretty heavily into the inner corner. And what I'm trying to do here is create a very frosted inner corner, more so than what I normally would have done. And I love it because it creates a beautiful contrast with the matte finishes that we've used in the crease. And again, using that same brush that came with that palette, which I said before is a very functional brush. So don't throw it away. Use it. It's good. Not only am I using those two colors mixed together on my inner lid area, but I'm also taking that up towards the upper part of my brow and then through the brow bone area as well, just to create more frosty look. Then I did go back and add some more of that orangey matte color. Like I said, I love warm tones. That's why that's the first look I created with this palette, because I love it. Now moving on to the face, I'm taking the Professional Matte Rescue from Benefit, and this is a primer. It looks like a blue jelly, and I'm applying that all over my face with clean hands, of course, just to create a matte canvas before applying any other products. So moving on to concealer. I'm taking the Naked Skin Concealer and the newest concealer by Makeup Forever. I can't remember the name. I will list it down below and the shades that I use. And I'm using this with a Beauty Blender. So I start by applying the two colors mixed together under the eye area, just to help brighten and conceal some dark circles. And this is the only thing I'm going to be using today for the face. So as you can see, with whatever's left on the tip of the sponge, I'm applying it where I need it, just to sort of tone down any redness, even out any discoloration. And really keeping everything really simple on the face because it is very hot. Everything seems to be slipping and sliding around because it's like, most days it's 96 here in the Tennessee area, so I'd rather just keep everything very light. You can go in with foundation, powder, your normal routine if you prefer, but this is just something I've been doing lately, and I have loved it because I'm not as oily and greasy throughout the day. That makes sense. So I'm just taking a little bit around my nose, my chin, a little through like where I have larger pores here on the cheek area, and sort of softening the sort of rosiness that I have normally and keeping it pretty light. And like I said, this is what I've been doing and it's been working for me. This same technique with a Beauty Blender that has been dampened and also a dry one, so it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. Then I'm going to take the Sanita's Skincare Moisture Mist and I'm going to wet the very tip of it so that I can apply my translucent setting powder, which is the one from Laura Mercier. This stuff is amazing, and I'm almost out of this trial size one, or the travel size, so I'm going to definitely pick up some more of that. But using the damp sponge to set my under eye with some powder probably seems a little crazy, but I'm telling you guys, it is the best thing because it sets it and gives it that sort of matte look, but it doesn't look cakey. That is the biggest thing. It removes that cakiness that powders can give under the eye. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend that you do. You don't have to use a setting spray or a moisturizing spray. You can use plain old water, and that will do the trick. And that is exactly what I do to set my foundation. I always use the damp sponge with translucent setting powder, and I just sort of press that into my face. And what I'm doing here is preventing the oiliness from breaking down any foundations, concealers, whatever I use that's sort of foundation-y, it helps prevent oiliness. Next, for some bronzer, using my favorite go-to bronzer. This is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. And I'm applying this with the Multitask Brush by Real Techniques. I don't have any sort of special steps that I do when I apply my bronzer. I sort of try to bronze and contour at the same time. That's why you see me doing this little weird face, sucking in my cheeks. That way I can expose where I would naturally contour and apply that in that area, and then blend up with circular motions as I would bronzer. For blush, I'm taking a very light neutral color. It's not too pink, it's not too brown, and it's by Makeup Revolution. I will have it listed down below, and I'm using the Pro Airbrush number 54 brush by Sephora. Then, of course, for some glowiness, I'm using Crushed Pearl from the Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Absolutely love this kit. It's in the Gleam version. There's, I think, 3 versions now. I think they recently came out with one that's a little bit darker, more kind of bronzy. This highlighting palette is amazing. Absolutely love it. Think it's worth every penny. And I'm using the Morphe M441 brush to apply this to the high points of the face, tops of the cheekbone, down the nose, Cupid's bow. You know, what I do pretty much every day. Alright, so let's finish the eyes. I'm taking Raw Sienna, which is that kind of warm tan color, with a detail brush. This brush is super old. I got it from Ulta. It's one of the Ulta brand brushes. I have had this brush for, I don't know, 7 years, no lie. And it's still going strong, so I'm applying that Raw Sienna color first, and I'm doing it pretty thin on the inner part and then a little bit thicker as we get towards the outer edge of the eye, and then topping that with that Regar, I don't even know how to pronounce that, whatever, you guys know, the super orangey one from the palette that is matte, and going right over that and putting quite a bit of it on the outer part of the eye, and then just sort of gradually fading as it comes to the inner corner, like the inner tear duct area. Then I'm going to mix some shades. Tempura and Vermeer, both of them are light sort of champagne-y type colors, with a 237 detail shader brush by Zoeva. And I'm applying that to the inner corner again to give me that sort of dewy, very frosted inner corner, so it helps open the eye. It just looks so pretty and so fresh. Then for some liner, here we go. This is where my fail is, you guys. I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and this pretty pink gadget here. This is the Liner Designer by the Beautyblender. And let's just say my first try with this was a little bit crazy. I went a little too far out than I normally would go, as you can see. Couldn't edit this out because this is my first impression reaction to using something like this. It does take some getting used to. I'm working on it, and maybe I can continue to get better. But as you can see, my wing came out pretty far. And I was out of focus for the rest of the liner, so I just edited it out. And yes, I will try to do a video where I can show you guys how I do this, because this is definitely something that I need to really sort of focus. As you can see here, I'm like really paying attention here and really like focused, because I don't want to screw this up, because if I do, I have to take everything off and start over again, and I don't have time for that. So, yeah. I'm working on it. It can be a pretty neat thing to use if you get the technique of holding it down with the liner, you know. I'll cover this in a separate video for you guys. So I think this could be something, like I said, useful, but I'm getting better at it, and I will definitely show you guys in a video. So now for mascara, I'm using the Rocket Volume by Maybelline. This is my go-to holy grail. If they quit selling this, I swear I'm going to punch somebody, because this stuff is so freaking good. Maybe not punch somebody. I'm not that physical, okay? So for the lower lash line, I'm using the It Cosmetics Tightline. It's the tiniest little brush. Grabs every little lower lash that you have. Makes them look really thick and long. Love it. Highly recommend that you give this little mascara a go. Can be purchased through Ulta and QVC. I will have it listed down below with everything else that I use if you're interested in trying it. But it's awesome. It does come in a waterproof version as well, which is perfect for the summertime if you need waterproof versions. Now for lips, I'm using the Tartiest Glossy Paint in the shade Obvi, which is a pretty nude color. It's got a little bit of depth to it, so it's not like a concealer nude. It's more of like slightly kind of brownie-ish. And here's a complete look. Love it, and I hope you do too. Alright, so that completes the look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this full face tutorial. I love this look. I am going to be doing some more looks, of course, with those reddish tones and those kind of cranberry type colors. You know that's coming, and I will definitely do a tutorial on that. So if you want to see more with this palette, definitely let me know in the comment section which colors, or, you know, if you want to do something more kind of super intense, something more kind of berry-ish, let me know, because I definitely will be doing something along those lines. So just let me know, because your wish is my command. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to tune in off camera. I do have social media, Instagram and Snapchat. I have Twitter. I have all of that jazz. It's always listed in the bottom bar, so tune in there and you get to see a little glimpse of my life off camera. And I will see you on Friday. Bye, guys.